And welcome to 520 Sports Talk. My name is Bill McCullough, sitting in for Sean Scott. Today I've got Jerry Beasley to my right. Jerry, All Pac-10 linebacker, former U of A Wildcat, played professional ball. This is going to be a great show, guys. This is what we've been waiting for this show for probably a month while you guys are doing your thing out on the road. So tonight we have the Tucson Turf 7-on-7 national. Let me repeat that, national champions. First time we've ever had a national championship team on 520 Sports Talk. And the first time the Tucson and the Marana area have actually had a national championship team since way before I was born. So welcome, guys. Glad to have you. We've got a good crowd here at Stray Dogs, standing room only. That's what we like to see. And Jerry, you want to start off and ask Coach Bourget some questions?
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations. It's a great job. But one of the things I was thinking about, what was the toughest thing to bring these guys together? As far as you guys met weekly, or how did you put all this together?
Well, obviously, with our program, most of us are from the Marana area. There's a few that aren't. So, we do have some logistical issues as far as getting people there. We practice once a week.
Okay.
But we make sure that we set a precedence for the kids to keep their schoolwork and their school sports before anything we do. And that's first and foremost. So that means we have one day a week, Sunday afternoons, were basically our only time to get together. We only got together about an hour and a half on average on a Sunday afternoon after the new year to get prepared for tournaments that start in like February and March. So we pick and choose which tournaments we go to, and we hit one local in Arizona, and then we hit 3 national tournaments. And so yeah, the kids do their best to get there. If they can't, there's not, we don't run a program. We don't discipline them like that. They're there because they want to be there. They're there because they want to learn and get better. And they, quite frankly, it's not very often you get kids that are usually the best kids on their team that can come together and find their role and accept their role and excel in their role to make a championship team. But I tell you what, it's the core of this team. They have actually brought home. I know this is kind of the first that you guys are recognizing this in the local media. This is our 29th national title or national showcase championship that we've brought home. These two alone, I think, are responsible for probably over 20 between the two, and they've played on over 20 of those national championship teams. But the kids that they're surrounded by, and you'll meet them tonight, each of them played a role in that deal. And we're just blessed to have a team like we have that, they work through this as a team, and that's something you just don't find. So.
Impressive. I don't want to get into football too quickly, but I just have to ask you this question. Meeting only you said an hour and a half per week. How'd you get all those timing patterns down? I mean,
we've actually you'll see the littlest kids around here are 5 and 7, 8 years old.
Okay.
We actually start in our football program starts in flag.
Right, okay.
So our kids, we don't necessarily have them playing tackle football in the fall.
Right.
They play flag football.
Okay.
What we do in our flag football program is the same routes, the same philosophies, the same practices that we'll have for these kids. So when they get there to practice and strap up, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8-year-olds, they're strapping up right next to them.
There you go.
And everybody's a volunteer. So the coaches, we have 2 to 3 to 4 coaches per group. Each group is between 8 and probably 12 kids, and we take over a park. And these kids actually, they'll help the little kids because it's the same drills we were doing 6, 7, 8 years ago with them. So now they actually help, and they step in and help with the little kids. So that's it, repetition.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. Before we get a lot farther, I want to get into some of our sponsors that help make this show possible here on 520 Sports Talk. We're almost a year old. Episode 43 today. September, the first week, we will be a year old. So definitely a milestone for us, and we appreciate the fans, the viewers, and our sponsors that make this possible. Our lead sponsor, Nova Home Loans. When we're not here at Stray Dogs or one of the other remote sites, we are in the Chris Lawler Nova Home Loan studio up in Continental Ranch. If you have any home loans or refinancing needs, call Chris Lawler. The guy never sleeps. He's up 24 hours a day, so give him a call. Also, our very first sponsor, Meech's Mexican Food on South 4th. Meech's have been around since the Magna Carta, so go down there, check them out. Good Mexican food. If you live up here, believe me, it's worth the drive to go down to South 4th Avenue and Meech's and the Mariscal family. Good Mexican food. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. We all know we live in Tucson. We all know we have air conditioning, and with air conditioning comes air conditioning problems. So make sure your air conditioner is in tip-top shape. Call David Murrieta at Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. Mention that you heard it on 520 Sports Talk, and they will definitely give you a break on the bill. Also, TucsonAlist.com. If you want to enlarge your footprint in the Tucson metro area for business needs, Tucson A-List is the way to go. They only have top-notch businesses that they align with, so get your business online, get it noticed. Call Kendra Sewell. She'll hook you up and give you everything you need to know. TucsonAlist.com. Also, The Rock. When we're not doing live remotes, we do have local bands such as Slow Truck and Dirty Magic do our intro and exit music on the shows. So we also, as well as promoting 520 sports, 520 businesses, we also like to promote local music here in the Tucson area. So The Rock, and also they have Riley's Surf Bar on weekends. So they've got sand out there, they've got palm trees, and I don't know if they're fake or real, but go out there, throw a few back, listen to some great local music at The Rock and Riley's Surf Bar. Also, we have Brittany Palma on the First Heritage A to B team, real estate. Brittany is probably one of the hardest working people I've met. I've known her for years. She's a great friend. If you have any of your real estate needs, talk to Brittany. She'll get you hooked up. Then you can talk to Chris Lawler after that. Also, we can't forget Stray Dogs here. Let's give a big hand for Stray Dogs tonight. Great food, great milkshakes. If you've seen our promos on the milkshakes, they're out of this world. If you're into it, they've got a 17-inch donut that was featured on Ginormous Foods that you can get for parties in lieu of a birthday cake, kind of a novelty idea. Stray Dogs rolls out the red carpet for us every time we're here. We'll also be back here next week, and I'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, Snap Fitness. Go see John Marshall at River and La Cañada at Snap Fitness. The nice thing about Snap Fitness, for guys that have weird schedules like me, they're open 24 hours a day. So you can work out whenever you need to. Like I said, talk to John Marshall. He will set you up with a membership and any type of fitness needs, or if you need a personal trainer, that type of thing. And also, last and certainly not least, the guy to my right, Andy Taylor, best producer in town, Andy Taylor Media. So if you have anything that you need, you want commercial shot at your business, you want to do a show like we're doing with Andy Taylor, get a hold of the man, because you're not going to find anybody better in the Tucson area or probably even the West Coast. So now, that being said, Aqua Solutions. I knew I was going to forget something. Aqua Solutions. If you, they do everything but dig the hole. So if you want your pool in tip-top shape, chemical-wise, no algae, you want it to look good, sparkling for those dinner parties you throw on summer nights, talk to Christine Boucher at Aqua Solutions. I think I did get everybody that one. Thank you, Andy. Okay, and also, before we get back into the show with the guys, to my left, I want to introduce to you Vivian Hammerschmidt. She's our new in our promotions department. She's going to be handing out some shirts. We have a 520 Sports Talk shirt that's signed by the players here that we're going to give away tonight. We've got a gift certificates to Stray Dogs, so you can get the great food on that, and also a Stray Dogs t-shirt. So she'll be handing those out a little later on in the show. You want to say hi, Vivian?
Hi, my name is Vivian, and I'm so happy to be representing 520 Sports Talk.
Thank you, and we're glad to have you. Okay, so let's get back into the show. Cindric is here. All right, we got the big dogs here. We got Wildcat and Wildcat. How you doing? Good to see you. All right. we had both these cats on our alumni show back in November, right before the ASU game. If you guys remember that was quite the show. So, getting back into it, do you want to tell the viewers and a little bit about 7-on-7. It's obviously not conventional football, but it's actually skill. It's skill versus against skill. So talk to us a little bit about how it's set up, how it's run. Obviously, there's no rush or anything like that.
Well, the way the game has changed through the years, it's gone to more spread versus a power game, which we all know. You got to make adjustments, and this is a way to get off-season work that is as realistic as possible. So you take the linemen out, and you have your linebackers and your DBs, and you have your 5 receivers. Your quarterback doesn't have a rush, but there is a clock on every play. So if the clock hits 4, it's a sack. So the nice thing about 7-on-7 is you can get a realistic look one-on-one. A lot of people are a little bit like, well, they look good because they're in shorts and T-shirts. Well, this is true, but they don't look as good when they're getting beat in shorts and T-shirts. So it's competition at its highest level. If people have never played it, I definitely suggest it. It takes out the really the high impact collisions and of a padded football game, of a tackle football game. So you're not risking that great injury in the off season, but you're still able to get in work. Game Breaker supplies us with the best headgear in America, in the world actually, with their headgear, so that we put every kid in the Game Breaker headgear to keep them safe. And offensively, these guys just get to air it out every play.
And that's so important, with especially the last few years in bringing to light the head injuries and and the after effects even after you've retired from football. I mean, I'm from San Diego. Junior Seau was a prime example. Very sad situation what happened to him, but it's becoming more and more prevalent now that medical advances has gone into more head injury type type diagnosis and stuff. So we are definitely glad for the companies that keep the kids safe.
Yeah, but also adding to that, this is more situational football as well. So being able to put these kids in situations where they can thrive in, be successful in, is what 7-on-7 is also about. Understanding the dynamics of the game. Your football IQ is what we talk about and what we coach on. And being here, understanding every situation is key and critical to the game. Right. So if I know that it's 4th and 1 and we're on a goal line in 7-on-7, I know that they can't run it, but they're going to try to run quick passes. So let me move up so that they won't be able to get a release, knowing that there's only 4 seconds to throw the ball. So understanding those situations, it translates to the tackle version of the game, to where now when you're out there in a situation, you understand what they're possibly going to do, especially in a 3rd and long or a 4th and long. Put them in predictable situations is our motto and our key. Do the simple things, but put them in predictable situations.
Right. Good point. Now, what are you guys running more? More Are you guys going to you seeing a lot of man-to-man out there, or are you a lot of bump man-to-man? Yeah, lots of zone. Okay.
Most of these teams are filled with athletes all across the board. So they usually run a man cover 2. So it's all man on demand. Right. Nobody really runs zone, but I mean, we run zone, we try to switch it up, on teams. So quarterbacks just can't, look who has a mismatch and just try to throw it up to them.
Okay. And tell us your name and your position and what high school you go to.
My name is Sharon Bourget. I'm class of 2019. I go to Marana High School.
Are you calling the shots on the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I'd say 95% of the time. And if not, then Coach Steptoe can help me out. But usually I call him from the line, and, we just huddle up, and we have numbers, and for the route tree, we just do it from there.
Okay.
All right.
That's impressive. Yeah.
And next to him is Mario Padilla, and you go to Sal Point, I've been told.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Sal Point is a beast. It's been for 40 years in the high school scene. So tell us a little bit about what you do on this team.
I'm a running back slot, free safety, and basically what we do is, we get open against 5-star receivers. We compete. We've always competed against the best athletes in the nation, and that's our main thing. Everybody thinks that we play against lower competition than us, but we don't shy away from any competition around the nation. We'll play whoever wants to play us, and if the financial part comes in, we'll go to them to play them. So.
You guys face probably a lot of athletes across the country.
What
was the most athletic team you faced, you think?
Definitely Fast Houston. Fast Houston. They're fast. It's in the name. They had
That's the name, right?
They had a probably out of the 7 starters on defense, they were all D1. Had maybe 5+ offers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let me put that in perspective. Every team we played in Dallas. We played how many games, Dallas? 7 games. There were more D1 offers to those kids in that tournament than the last probably 5 years in all of Southern Arizona. So put your head around that. There were some teams where they had 20 kids, and if you average 10 offers a kid, you're talking 200 offers in on one team. And this team right here, no.
What is your strategy when you got all this talent, all this athleticism on the other side of the ball?
Well, that the other teams deal with, because we're real transparent with our kids.
Okay.
Every time we practice as a team, and we preach it's team. It's about, we'll make adjustments where we've got the number 1, number 2 sophomore receiver in the state. There will be games where he may not touch the field on offense because we don't have the right matchup.
Right. Okay.
But instead of him throwing his headgear and walking out of the arena, he's got his head in the game, and if we make a play, he's there to cheer the team on. That's the type of character that we need when it comes down to those pressure situations. We lean on our players because we build that character with them. That's our priority. So,
team concept, that's right.
Now let me ask you this, and this is probably a question more geared towards you to being the quarterback. As the coach said, you've got a 4-second time limit to get rid of the ball. Are you allowed to move around back there outside the quarterback box, which would be in conventional football outside the tackles?
Yeah, you're allowed to roll out.
Okay.
Very rarely do I go like all the way out, but I still try to treat it like it's a regular game.
Okay, and I understand that everything's a pass play, right?
Everything's a pass play. You can have some draws.
You can have a draw.
Yeah,
okay.
So I've seen kids. They've had 4 rushing touchdowns from the 40-yard line. I mean, they're super quick. So you can do it. If people start backing up, people will run the ball.
Okay, so let's talk about exactly how you're lined up. Obviously, no linemen. If you can run a draw, you can rush. So you have a tailback, quarterback, and then everybody else is split out wide left and wide right.
It's your normal sets. You're gonna have whatever you run in offense, that's what you should run. Whatever you run in tackle, you should run that. You take your T, which is your tailback. We can go empty backfield, so we'll take our T and split them out. So we'll have trips one way, or we'll even have quads sometimes.
Okay.
So if we want a single man coverage, we've got kids that are bigger. We'll take them backside. We'll motion away from them so we can get that single coverage on backside. Everything you strategize in regular tackle football is played out in 7-on. It's the same offensive scheme. You have your 5 legal receivers, so nothing changes. You just take out the line. That's it.
Okay.
Kind of running like a skeleton, right?
Yeah, like in the league. Yeah.
Now, when did this 7-on-7 start? I mean, it's relatively new. I'm imagining.
It's actually not.
It's not? Okay, great. Maybe it's new to Arizona.
For me, being from Texas, this is something that we do or that we did in the summertime.
Okay.
Where we actually have a state 7-on-7 tournament that you get to play in with your high school team. And so this is just it evolving into something bigger and greater now, where now it's on the national stage. So now you're able to play against kids from other states, and you're able to showcase your talent against those kids that you see on Twitter, that you see on Facebook, that you see on Instagram, bragging about their school. So now you get to see them in a national setting. So 7-on-7 has actually been around, I would say, since the late 90s.
Okay.
But now you just see it on a national level, to where it seems like it's new because of everyone trying to get behind it, everyone trying to endorse a product within the 7-on-7 realm, because it's turning into what they say is AAU basketball, to where now you're giving kids more opportunities to be exposed throughout the year versus just that 10 games out of the season. I mean, football is one of those things where any football player that played at the highest level or even in college will tell you, you practice 9 months out of the year. Mm-hmm. You only get usually 10 Saturdays or 10 Fridays to actually showcase what you've been practicing. So 7-on-7 gives you more months out of the year to actually practice and compete against that high level.
And it's a good way. Yeah, it's a good way, to kind of alleviate the injuries and still get your work in on your skilled players.
Exactly.
We don't try to keep people out of baseball and track. We actually want kids to go and compete in other sports.
Yeah, we encourage multiple sports. And
I don't know where that started, this one sport thing. I mean, when I played football, basketball, and baseball in high school, and my senior year, I mean, I blew out my knee. Didn't even know it because back then it's the coach is like, get in there, But kind of affected basketball and stuff. But I went from one sport into another. You did the same thing at Sunnyside and stuff. So I don't know where this hybrid athlete comes from, because every good coach that I've spoken to wants you to play another sport, because basketball helps football, baseball helps football, the hand-eye coordination, that type of thing. So,
I think what it is parents have to say.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Our generation, my generation. I'm from the '90s, graduated in the '90s.
Right.
Our generation is really taking its toll on sports. Just because. Oh, my bad. Our generation is changed, and maybe the information age where we think we can get our kids exposure and they're chasing fame and chasing professional sports. That's not what we're about. This man's a great example of that. He made it to a higher level than I made it, but we don't treat each other or him as over me or I'm over him, because that's not life. The lights will go out on each and every one of these players, and we recognize that. So teaching them about what it's going to be like after they're done with the game, that's the most important part. We just brought the young man I was telling you about, Tariq Jordan, is over here to my right. He's going to be a junior. He's one of the top receivers in the state. To his right, we have Keith Wesley. Keith is one of our kids who he was raised as a young man down here in Marana. He moved to Phoenix with his parents, and for a 17-year-old kid that has all the outlets in Phoenix to go and play with, to put his ego to the side, and he knew Trenton as a child. Him and Trenton hung out at the house because his dad and I played together. Put his ego to the side and said, I want to go and play with Tucson Turf. He approached me himself to make sure, made the connection. We brought him on. It was a great fit, and we reconnected. He's been gone since probably 6 years old. So to get on our team, make a championship run, going into his senior year, that's the type of kids that we have surrounded by us. So.
Wow. It's impressive. You guys getting any letters from colleges or universities?
What did you just do this weekend? Tell them what you did this last weekend.
I'm Keith Wesley, and I live in Phoenix. I go to Higley High School in Gilbert, Arizona, and this past weekend I attended a super combine in Colorado for Blue-Gray All-American. And from what I've been hearing from the coaches from this combine, they say I have a really good chance of playing in this bowl game, and that I should just keep performing and showing my talents out in front of these coaches to get back on this field and go possibly to the next level.
Now, where's the bowl game held?
They have 4 different bowl games. 2 are held in Dallas in the Cowboy Stadium. The other 2 are in Jacksonville and the Tampa Bay Buccaneer Stadium.
Well, Cowboy Stadium's got to be home field advantage for you.
That's the one thing, because I would love to play in the Cowboy Stadium because we had already taken a very big football
They already know
championship. Yeah, it would be great.
That's terrific. Tariq, I think you were on a Marana show back in November, I believe, over at home plate. Yeah, I remember that. Talk a little bit about what helps you in the 7-on-7 when you strap it up coming in a few weeks in Marana football.
Well, one thing that is stressed to me about is being physical. That's the easiest thing that I could do is be physical, because there's obviously going to be safeties and corners that are way faster than me, but knowing that they're going to be faster than me, I have to think okay, I just got to be more physical than them. Right. So I'll use all of this that God gave me and be able to mix that into being quick and then being able to just catch the ball.
Right. He's a pretty big receiver.
He's a big receiver. I'm thinking linebacker.
Yeah. No, I can definitely see with your body type and stuff. You could definitely use that physicality to your advantage and stuff, because look at U of A DBs. They're 5'10", 5'11", and $180, something like that. You can even be physical on that next level, even where you're at today.
They take kids like that. They put them on. He'll be a linebacker. That's what they do.
So tell us about the process. Let's go back a little bit before Dallas, back to Las Vegas, where Coach Bourget was just saying there's just dozens and dozens of teams on there. Tell us your preparation. You get up in the morning. You have just walk us through your day.
Well, first, when I wake up, or anybody on the team in Vegas. Okay, so then that first day, as we knew we were gonna play that morning, I didn't really think we're gonna go out and win and beat everybody, because I knew there was competition everywhere. So I just went in going, okay, I'm just gonna play my game and do what I do, and not let that affect the way that anybody else or myself plays, because somebody may be bigger or better than me because of size or skill wise. So knowing that, I was just going in with the motivation, knowing that I could do this. And it's something that I'd want to do, just to show out and show everybody what I could do. And that's what.
Now, how many games do you have to play in a day? I mean, it just, what's the length of the game?
I mean, a normal 7-on day, it can go up to like, you can play like maybe 5 games a day, but we only play 3 our first day. But most games, like, because it's a long day, you can play a long range of games, but it just depends on how your schedule or rank goes or whatever that goes to.
So is it kind of set up like, tournaments like in softball and baseball where if you lose a game, you have to play more and go through the losers bracket? Okay, same type of setup then.
Yeah. There's a lot of trash talking out there with guys.
Oh, there's a lot for us, yeah. We try not to say nothing back, but it gets thrown at us, a lot.
I can imagine, yeah.
But we're the team that you don't really get us talking back to nobody.
Right, okay.
But, yeah.
You just show them what you got on the field. That's the way to go. So you're going into your junior year at Marana?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what are your expectations? I know you guys are loaded this year. I mean, I'm not going to give anybody any bulletin board material, but, I mean, we know that you have a good team. There's other schools that have good teams. Cienega's going to be tough. Ironwood Ridge is always tough. Obviously, South Point is South Point. Tucson High is Tucson High. So, what are your goals and expectations for school ball?
See, also, like offensively, I would like to catch every ball that's thrown to me, and not really worry about the scoring part, but being able to break at least one tackle every time the ball touches my hands. Defensively, because I'm also going to be playing defense this year as a defensive end, I would just like to be able to become a good pass rusher and provide for my teammates and do something to help us be in the best position to win defensively and offensively and do what I can.
Well, I think with your receiver speed, that ought to be a big advantage coming off the edge there. So.
Yes, sir.
That's right. No, I see that happening. That's why I said linebacker.
Yes, sir, yeah.
So they're already kind of prepping you for that type of role.
Kind of like a Teddy Bruschi. He played defensive end at Arizona, but then he moved back a few feet and played linebacker, and the rest is history.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then going over, what is your expectations for school ball this coming year?
So for school this season, I will be a two-way player as well. I will be playing wide receiver for my high school and outside linebacker to a strong safety type. And my number one goal is to always put the team in front of myself. So when I'm put in a situation where it's the fourth quarter and you have 2 minutes left in the game and we're on defense, I'm put in a situation, my mindset, where I need to get a stop, and I'm going to help my team with that by doing by putting in that situation to do my job and trusting that everybody around me is doing theirs as well. But when it comes to offense, as Tariq has said, I would like to catch every ball and then work on getting yards with making the first guy miss and then getting up my touchdowns and yardage.
Good. Those are great goals, and that's a great attitude to have.
What do you prefer? Which side of the ball?
I'm an offensive player all the way. I love the ball and I love scoring. Love making people miss.
Yeah.
Well, I think you and Tariq probably like to run over a few people though too.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a little. I can be physical when it comes to bumping heads with people.
I'm looking at the shoulders. You've been in the weight room. This guy's probably your mentor in the weight room.
So if you had to play defense, what would you say?
I love defense, because if I could hit somebody and cause them to be iffy about coming my way again, then so be it.
That's what coaches do. They're trying to take those athletes and put them on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So defense, that's right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what you play in high school is not necessarily what you're going to play in college.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing they tell us.
All right. Okay, so we got a new player in here. You want to introduce yourself?
Let me do this introduction.
All right.
Man, this guy here, Mr. Tion Simmons. Tion played a crucial role for us in the championship rounds out in Dallas. Uh-huh. He was a kid that early on in the season, in our 7-on-7 season, we couldn't count on. But going to the latter half of it, he was a kid that was able to pay his dues, get right off the field, to be able to get right on the field. And it showed tremendously against some of the top talent in the country. And he was able to go out there and dominate and wound up being one of the co-MVPs of the tournament because of his play. So this is a kid, the sky is the limit for him, but it's up to him and his attitude and what he wants to do and what he wants to become. And he knows that. and the growth that he's shown has been tremendous, and we want to continue to see him grow. But that's Tion Simmons. I just put a lot on him right now. Hopefully he can still talk.
Tell us your position, what year you are in school, and where you go to school.
My year is 2018. I'm a receiver. My year is 2018. I'm a receiver and a DB, and I go to Marana High School.
What are you looking forward to the most this coming season with the Tigers?
Everything, just like family-wise, because like they helped me grow as a person on and off the field. Just being with them and practicing every day, and just getting in the motions, and can't wait till football season starts.
You guys are coming off a really, really good year last year. You hosted your first playoff game in the school history.
Yeah.
Did really well. Went up to Phoenix, still played well, but came up on the short end of the stick on that. You definitely want to take that the step further this year, I'm imagining.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's always the next year. We're just gonna get it this year and show people that we're ready. And we're just shooting for state. That's what we're going to do this year, just try to shoot for state.
How did your attitude change? You said you...
I mean, I came a long way, helping my uncle, helping me, and my coach, Step, helping me. I have father figures in my life. Yeah. So I came a long, long way. And
tell us how when you say you came a long way. What'd you work on? Yeah, what did you work on? How did you change your attitude?
My attitude, just hang around the right people instead of the wrong people that I used to hang around with, and just actually getting in the gym and working, and family wise helping me out, getting through the tough times, and keep moving forward and never take a step backwards. So
good.
Just helping me get on the right road and the right path.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Impressive.
And what I've noticed too about this is the second time around I've had some of these fellas and Coach Bourget, Coach Steptoe on my show, is one, the Marana community really rallies around their football team. I live in Marana, and I can go to Fry's at Ina and Thornydale. I can go up to E.G.'s at Cortero, and right across from Walmart, and you're talking. Everybody's talking Marana Tigers. The whole community just puts Marana, number one on their priority list. It's like, are we going to go to the movies on Friday? Heck no, we're going to go to the Marana football game. So, it's really refreshing to see, community step up, and a lot of the other communities, in Tucson, a lot of the other schools could, definitely learn from how Marana is with not only their football team, but the whole athletic program, at the school.
Let Diego switch. I tell you, the he basically exemplifies everything you're talking about. This is a kid that was raised in the Marana community, that he got tugged on to go to other schools in Tucson. We knew what we had in this kid. This kid's a 4.0 student. His brother was a defensive player of the year last year for the conference. He's lived in that shadow his whole life. But Coach and I will tell you, if we have a kid that we know we can put in a pressure situation and will perform and just do his job, that's the type of kid Diego Miranda is right here. And I tell you what, when we had the game secured in the stadium, if we connect one ball to get a first down, they can't possibly catch us. And Trenton and Diego have been playing together since they're about 7 years old. I don't think Trenton ever looked at anybody else, because this kid catches every ball you throw his way. He's not running a 4-3, but he will catch the ball, he'll run the route, and he will never, ever complain to us as coaches. It's a beautiful thing to have on your team. So that's Diego Miranda in a nutshell. He's not much of a talker, so you can't ask him too many questions. But the guy next to him is his other sophomore counterpart from Marana. He will talk enough for all the sophomores over at Marana. That's their vocal leader. That's our linebacker, T.J. Stephers. T.J.'s story, and I'll just touch on him. T.J., just like Keith, was raised in Marana as a young child. His family uprooted and went to Denver, Colorado. Father was excelling. His father is a local guy, Tyrone Stephers. He's now AD over at Saguaro. He was an AD out in Denver. After his 8th grade year, TJ told his dad on the way home from a football game he wants to play his high school career in Marana.
Wow.
His dad called me from Denver, Colorado that night and said, I'm not going to say another word for 2 weeks. If he doesn't bring it up, we're not even going to consider it. I think he said every day after that, TJ was in his ear. And because of that, they uprooted their family, left his job, left his career, came back to Marana just so this kid can be around the kids he wanted to win a state championship with. And I'm going to tell you, every day he wakes up, I know that he's stepping in that direction. He knows what the goal is. He knows why he came back. And that's TJC. These are all sophomores that we pretty much add up here except Keith. So they're all coming back to high school, and they're all coming back to play 7-on. You can only play up to your junior year in 7-on-7.
Now, you being sophomores, are you going to be varsity?
Yeah.
Nah, that's a rhetorical question. Talk to me a little bit about, obviously Coach said, you're a possession receiver. You got, sticky fingers and, anything you can get a finger on, you're pulling it in for a reception and stuff. Tell us the different types of balls that you like Trenton to throw. I mean, obviously you can catch everyone, but I mean, I'm sure he makes you, he leads you in the direction on whatever the DB's playing and whatnot. But are you one that likes to go over the middle? Do you like contact? Are you a Jay Dobbins type receiver that, you're going to get whacked and you just get up and look at the guy? And
Well, it's like whatever the team needs, I guess. Like we always have different concepts, and if everyone does like their job and their route, someone's going to be open. So it's like, I guess it's no matter where you are on the field, as long as you're doing your job and someone's going to be open.
Now with Coach saying you're not going to run a 4-3, but you're a possession receiver, your route is very important to you as far as running a precision route and stuff. The head fake, the
footwork
body.
and all that. Yeah.
Getting the DB back on his heels and stuff.
Yeah. So you running a precise route.
Yeah, we always work on footwork every day at practice, and we have like a efficient time to work on it, and no reps are wasted, and we just try to make the best of every rep.
How about catching the ball? What do you think makes you a great? You can throw it in your direction and you bring it down. What do you focus on?
Every offensive day we have these drills called hands drills, and they're just simple drills that Larry Fitzgerald used to do. They're just simple, like going over, catching the ball from like 5 feet away.
Right.
So we'll do different ones where it's like back shoulder, down low, over the head, like game situations.
Just lugging the ball in,
tucking it in, and good habits.
That's what's important.
Yeah.
So Cephers, right?
Yeah.
All right. I think I know. Do I know a Cephers? Yeah, I think I know some Cephers. Good athletes.
Yeah.
So linebacker?
Yeah.
What's the toughest part about being a linebacker? I know I can tell you what was the toughest part, but what about you when you're playing a linebacker?
I think in 7-on-7, I think the toughest thing is that you kind of have to be. I think you have to be smarter than the other people on the other side of the field. You just have to know the down and distance, the situation. If it's third and 10, or even like 3rd and 2, you just still have to, just be smart. You have to be physical because like both of my coaches here preach every day to me that if someone's coming across the middle, get in their hip pocket. Don't let anyone come free across the middle. Just get physical. And that's just gonna help the team. And yeah.
When I play linebacker, getting back in my drops.
Yeah.
Was always tough. Because you want to play the run, you want to get up there and they throw a rep behind you. So getting that depth in your drops, getting that depth in them drops are important.
Yeah, that's another thing. Getting in my drops. Coaches at Marana, it's always preach. Get under one, or just look at the receiver and look back at quarterback. Make sure you're just there and everything. If you're there, you're just doing your job. And when you get back in your drops, you're where you're supposed to be and everything.
Good.
Now, do you play both sides too, or?
Yeah, I play both sides. Well, yeah. you can say I play both sides, but mainly defense.
You can get there clear legs. We get close.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got to get the ball out of Trent's hands so he doesn't try to throw it. But
This is what the game's about. That spread offense nowadays. It's not really when we came up, or at least I came up, about running the ball right at you. But now, doing the skeleton 7-on-7 is very important, and even as a linebacker, because it's spread offense nowadays.
Yeah.
They're throwing the ball. So
do you find your drops are deeper on 7-on-7 than they would be in conventional football?
Yeah, most of the time, playing, at Marana I play outside, but with Tucson Turf I play middle. So with outside, the drops, they're not necessarily deeper, but it's just about, just where you are. And, you know, if you're in the right spot at the right time, you're going to make the play. But if you're just lollygagging and not getting to your spot, then you're not going to be there. But in that middle, you know, you gotta get depth, and you just have to look, and you just got to make sure, you know, no one's coming across the middle free. You know, you just got to lay hands.
Now, I think you guys are probably itching to hit somebody after
Yeah.
no contact 7-on-7.
The adjustment's sometimes hard.
When do two-a-days start?
Next week, next Monday.
All right. We're going to try to get out there and do some filming on the Tiger two-a-days next week or the week after, Coach. So.
These guys, this guy right here dropped himself out of bed. He wasn't feeling good, but let me see.
Definition of a team player.
This is Adrian Gutierrez right here, and Adrian's story is a little bit unique as well. This is a kid that he's known about Tucson turf for a long time because he competed against us on a national level. When we used to go to Vegas, he lived in Vegas. So here's a kid that lived in a rival city in America that played against us. When he came to Arizona, his dad tells me he had a goal. One of those goals was to find himself winning national championships with us. And because of his hard work, this is one of those glue guys we talk about. You know, you need those type of guys on a team if you want to win championships. This is a kid that he's as competitive as anybody in the room, but he accepts his role. He excels in his role. We put him in a game, he makes a difference. Yeah. And it's just kids like this that you need on a championship team. So that's Adrian Gutierrez. He's going to be a senior for Marana. He's one of Steps and our receivers out there, and we expect some big things from him this year.
So talk to us a little bit about, last year you were a junior, you got a taste of the playoffs, won that first big home game, at Marana's Field. Obviously you want to take it a step further, 2 steps, 3 steps further. Tell us, as a senior coming in as an upperclassman and as a leader on the team, what message are you going to tell your teammates to get them into the same frame of mind that you guys want to go all the way and win state this year?
We just got to stay together as a unit and always just work hard, and the sky's the limit for us this year as a group.
You're on. All right. So, do they look to you? Being a senior, do they look to you as a leader on the team?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, we have a lot of guys in the locker room that are leaders, vocal leaders, and we all keep each other up.
And what are you looking forward to the most going into school ball, coming out of 7-on-7, other than hitting?
Well, that was what I was about to say. Just finally some contact, but yeah.
You know how it is, Bees. You're two-a-days, and you're getting your fundamentals down, and you're getting used to hitting again, but you're hitting your own guys, and you can't wait till that first game where you can hit somebody else and do some smackdown.
What do you think the biggest obstacle will be to get to that state champion this year?
Just us staying together. As long as we stay together, we can go anywhere this year. So that would be the biggest key.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So let's talk about you've gone Vegas, you're going to Dallas. What's the mindset?
From living in Vegas to coming?
No, from winning the Vegas tournament to going to going to Cowboy Stadium, and that you have a possibility of winning a national championship. How do you guys keep your head in it? How do you not become complacent or overconfident? You're obviously on a roll, and you got the momentum, but how do you keep checked and balanced?
Just like how we won the Vegas tournament, we just stayed together as a unit, and we just continue to roll, and that's just what keeps us going. So we stay together, and we can do anything.
Now, coming from Vegas, is the football any different up there? No, I'm talking regular football than it is down here. I mean, Vegas has some very competitive teams.
Yeah.
There's been athletes, around the Pac-12 that come out of Vegas, not only in football but basketball as well. So.
I mean, it's no different. Everywhere you go, you just got to put the work in, and wherever you want to go, that's what you have to do is just work.
And imagine two-a-days are about the same up there as they are down here. Just hot. Just butt-ass hot.
One of the next players that we have coming up, Mr. Amari Harris, a.k.a. Mo, smallest guy on the team by stature, but probably one of the biggest hearts on the team. And he shows it every time he steps on the field, and the way that he competes, I applaud him. I was a small guy playing, so I understand the chip that he has on his shoulder and the extra edge that he needs to play with in order to show those guys like, hey, I belong out here. And this is something that he's been able to do for the longest. He's another kid that's out of the Phoenix area that we were able to bring to actually he sought us out, a couple years ago, and it was one of the relationships that it's worked out over the years. It kind of wavered a little bit with his attitude, but that's something that we worked on. And this young man now, he's one of our example athletes, and he shows and exemplifies everything that we instill in them and what it means to be part of Tucson Turf and what it means to be a young man growing up in America and going out there and being a role model to the younger community of our younger kids who are part of our program. And this is a kid that is doing that. His football game speaks for itself. It speaks volumes for itself when you see him on the field. A little water bug, a little jitterbug.
Tell us the position you play, the year you are in school.
By the way, these are all our freshmen we'll bring on now.
And they're playing varsity too.
They're playing varsity as freshmen, and now they're going to be sophomores. This is class of 2020.
These guys are loaded.
That's how you build a program.
Yeah, these guys are loaded.
Right.
Go ahead.
Oh, my name is Amari Harris. I play slot receiver.
And tell us about going to school at Marana. Not just playing football, but our Desert Edge. Okay.
I went to
Desert
Desert Edge
Phoenix.
last
Okay.
year.
Tell us about playing football up in the Phoenix, up in the big city.
Right. It's nothing different really. It's a level competition with anybody. But yeah, I went to Desert Edge and I played with slot receiver out there. I played most of my freshman year and I got moved up to varsity.
And what are they? 5A?
We're 5A.
5A.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And tell us a little about what your strengths are in the position that you play. What do you bring to your team?
Speed and like they say, I'm a little jitterbug. I like to juke a lot, and I just.
These are highlight films.
Right. You think he runs track, Bees?
Yeah, I did run track. I ran the 100 and I did long jump. So
what do you run 100 meters in? Dude?
Oh, what was my PR?
Yeah.
I think I ran a 10.9 was my PR.
That's good.
Was my PR, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Standing back there.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
we get off.
Shortest freshman, that's the tallest freshman.
So you showed an initiative. You looked them up to get out here and you just wanted to work on your skills. You just wanted to try to get better for the following year, upcoming year.
Oh, when I called them?
Yeah, when you called them.
Yeah, I saw them on TV because they did another national tournament. Like
wow.
they just win national tournaments.
Yeah.
So I saw them on TV and I knew they were in Tucson, which isn't that far from Phoenix. So
right.
I called them up and I went to a tryout and I just been playing on the team. It's been a family ever since.
Wow, I'm impressed by that. I'm impressed by that.
It fits.
Yeah.
And just so everybody knows, we get a lot of phone calls from people through the years, and a lot of parents, it's almost like they're selling their kids. Like, well, my kid is this, and my kid is this, and we have kind of an open door program. We don't want to close the door on anybody that wants to play football. If they're passionate about the game, they want to have fun with the game, we'll accept them to come out. That doesn't mean they'll ever play in a game. Doesn't mean they'll ever make a travel team. But we give an opportunity to become part of our family at some level. This is a kid that was treated like basically, one of those kids that's kind of, I say coddled, basically, because he's the fastest, scores the most touchdowns. His mom saw something in that she didn't like. She didn't like where that was leading him as a person. I told his mom, if you bring him down, we'll see if we're a good fit. By the end of the first day, we had an idea of what we had as an athlete. But through the years, what's more important is we now realize what we've got in a person. And we're hoping that he realizes through the consistency that we present that his future isn't based on his football IQ or his football skills. It's going to be about the character he develops through the game of football and through life. So he will be an example. In 10 years, you will know that whether he plays NFL or plays a down in college, he'll be a kid that we look back on, and hopefully we'll have a picture of him. And he's an example kid where he could have gone the other way and been one of those kids that's coddled, expects the world to be handed to him. And he's not that kid that he was 3 years ago when he stepped on the field with us. So we're proud of the strides he's taken. And when you see him on the football field, you'll ask, who's that kid? Is that Mo kid? I'm telling you, he's worth every penny of admission. So,
And these guys will make you work. Sure you don't want to come down to Tucson and play ball.
I think that's the next move. I think that's the next thing that's going to happen.
We'd love to have you down here.
Yes, sir.
You want to tell us what your name is, what position you play, and where you go to school?
My name is Alfred Ebanoa, and I play wide receiver from Miranda High School.
You guys are loaded in wide out.
Where you getting all these athletes from?
So tell us a little bit. What year are you going to be?
Class of 2020. So I'll be a sophomore.
Freshman. Well, okay. All right. So what are you going to look? What are you looking into? You're still an underclassman. Obviously, you've got talent because you're playing on varsity. But what are you looking to achieve? What are your goals? Some of your goals for this upcoming season?
I'm looking to achieve to be a big part of the team and contribute to my players and my team.
Okay. And do you play in the slot or do you play out wide? Or?
Wide out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's do you like going over the middle?
Just real quick about Alfred. So Alfred is a kid where he just started playing football probably about 3 years ago. And he was a kid that played soccer, and so he's a kid that's progressed in this game, that's learned the game, and is still learning the game.
Right.
So his athleticism right now is unmatched because he doesn't know how athletic he actually is.
Right.
Well, his footwork's got to be phenomenal.
Yeah. And some of the things he's able to do, I think he surprises himself and what he's able to do on the football field. But once he truly realizes his capabilities, like the sky's the limit for this kid as well. Standing backflip type kid, just super athletic, wide receiver, corner for us. He's made tremendous strides in just raising his football IQ and raising his level of play throughout the years. And this year is going to be a big year for him, being one of our starting receivers on varsity out at Marana and understanding the concept of the plays. And so giving him that responsibility hopefully will lead to him understanding, like, okay, I can do this thing and I can do more. So let me go do it. Let me be me.
What are you guys doing? I mean, you guys building a program here. A dynasty. How are you guys doing it? What are you guys doing to recruit these kids?
It's been a process. I came aboard probably about 4 years ago, and I saw what Toby was doing out in Tucson. We met at one of Briggs' golf outing, and football camp, and told him I was back in town thinking about getting into coaching, and I was able to go out and see what he was actually doing with the young kids. It started where Tucson Turf. This is kind of the end product of what we're doing. We have 5-year-olds that we start with and breeding and instilling them up through the years. So by the time they get to this level, they understand what it takes to be successful on the football field. That's easy. That's easy. But what we want is them to be successful in life. And that's why our kids are able to excel, because they take the game of football and translate it to the game of life, and they're able to use that to be good men, good women. And we have girls that are in our program as well. We took a girls team to nationals this year. That's unprecedented for a normal flag football team, and we were able to do that and accomplish that. So that's something that we take pride in, is helping our youth, giving our youth an outlet to be successful. And we were able to actually, cultivate that until now our nonprofit called Life Athletics, and taking the game and translate it to what you're gonna run in life and what you're gonna do in life and how you're gonna be successful in life. Football is such a small aspect of what you're able to do and what you're going to do. And so understanding that at an early age, where most parents are instilling in them, like, this is all you can do, this is all you're going to do. I was that kid. And that's something I don't want for these kids. I want these kids to understand that they have more to offer and that they will offer more, and that they're going to have to be able to do something else besides just throw a ball and catch a ball and run with a ball.
Exactly. Now, you're talking about, the younger kids coming up. Do you put them in contact football, or do you just do 7-on-7?
Just flag
The
football.
Flag? Okay.
Yeah, we play flag
so you're not
football.
doing the TYF stuff or anything like that?
we support TYF.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
And we have kids that play with us that are from TYF, and we support that. At the end of the day, it's the parents' choice what they want to put them in.
Right.
But me personally, I'm a kid where I played flag up until middle school out in Texas. I never put a helmet on.
Same with me. I didn't play tackle until I was in high school. Yeah. Julius does do a good job though with the TYF.
Yeah, Julius does a great job.
Yeah,
good friend of Julius, so he
job.
does a great job. But it's the parents' decision, and we go with that, and then we have our program where we're doing.
Now, when you guys are doing, when you're doing your conditioning drills, do you do, having played multiple sports and stuff, do you integrate like basketball conditioning skills into some of your football practices, or
cross training?
Yeah, exactly.
Big on cross training and doing different agility drills in our practices, and that's something that we started to do with here in the last year. and showing that it translates onto the field. Now, I'm big in cross training and getting you outside of your comfort zone. I don't want to be routine, and this is what we're going to do, and that's why we've been so successful, because we are unpredictable. But with that being said, I know our last kid that we wanted to introduce. Tobin, where you going? Mr. Tobin.
Go ahead and have a seat, guys. We're going to take a quick break before we get this last group in to go over our sponsors again real quick, because obviously without them we wouldn't be here. We do appreciate everybody that came out to Stray Dogs here. Stray Dogs, once again, unmatched in their hospitality to us, to the guests that we provide. Fabulous food, great milkshakes. I see all kinds of donuts hanging off the straws, and cereal, and all kinds of good stuff, macaroni and cheese flying around. So Stray Dogs is definitely the place we're at. It's a place that you need to come and try. Also, Nova Home Loans with Chris Lawler. If you need any home loans or refinancing, call Chris Lawler. He's the man to go to in town. Meech's Mexican food restaurant on South 4th. Meech's has been around since I was a kid, and still providing great meals. They also do catering for big companies like Raytheon and the airport and stuff like that. So they've got good food. Those companies are calling them back time and time again for catering. Oasis Air Conditioning and Heating. We're only 1 month into the summer. Isn't that a trip? I mean, we're burning up already. I was thinking the other day, it's like we're 1 month into the summer. We got 2 months to go. This is crazy. So definitely call David Murrieta if you have any type of air conditioning issues. You need your ducts cleaned out so your air conditioner functions better. Oasis is a place that you need to talk to. Okay, TucsonAlist.com. Another one of our first sponsors when we started the show. Kendra School does a great job with them. Listen, guys, if you own a business or have a service industry, you want to get on TucsonAlist.com. It will definitely broaden your footprint, not only in the Tucson area, but also in Southeast Arizona, TucsonAlist.com. Also, The Rock, concert venue for local bands here in Tucson, also featuring Riley's Surf Bar on the weekends. Check it out. Little sand, a little sun, a little drinking, a little music. Sounds like a good time to me, huh, Bees? Also, Brittany Palma and First Heritage A to B Team Real Estate. She and Tom McNamara do a great job. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, call the A to B team with Brittany Palma. Snap Fitness at River and Oracle. John Marshall, John's fiance Tamara, she was on our show a little over a month ago with the fitness models and bodybuilders. A great show we had up at Z Pizza. So if you guys want to get back into shape, you have a weird schedule, that's a 24-hour gym. It's very reasonably priced. Talk to John Marshall. He'll get you all hooked up. Aqua Solutions. Christine Boucher, a good friend of mine, does a really fabulous job with pools. Like her slogan says, I do everything but dig the hole. So once your pool is being built, have Christine and her crew take care of your pool. You won't have any algae problems. You won't have the problems that a lot of pools around here have. Sometimes some of these pools are kind of scary to go into. And also, we couldn't be doing this without Andy Taylor Media. Andy Taylor's the best producer in the business, as you can see by this show and all the other shows that we've put on. So if you have any commercial needs or you have an idea for a show, contact Andy Taylor Media. Okay, going back into it, we got the last group, huh? The brothers.
Last group, man.
That's
we
right.
Got probably the smartest kid on the team in Coburn Bourget. He's actually tutoring everyone in here, besides Diego, I think.
I'd have to say, though, between your dad and your grandpa and everything, you got a pretty good gene pool, buddy.
But yeah, no, Coburn is a quarterback on our team. He's brothers with Trenton. He's one of those kids where he's relentless in his pursuit of greatness and wanting to be great. He doesn't say too much, but when he does speak, he's able to convey the message that he wants to be a leader, and he's going to be a leader for us. He's the future of our program, and we want him to know that and understand that. He's able to tell us things when he's on the sideline while we're out there playing that myself, Trent, or Toby might not be able to see coming from a quarterback perspective. Right. And he's able to relay that to us. And that's one of the special things about this kid, and having two capable quarterbacks on the team being able to play and throw the ball as well as both of these young men do. But I would say Coben is one of those kids. He's also a glue guy. You know, without him on the team, I don't know how cohesive we would be.
Right.
But he is there to keep us together and kind of keep the jokes going at times as well. So, you want to say anything?
That's right. Bees has a question for you, I'm sure.
So, how you like being out there? It sounds like you're like a second coach out there, on the field. Yeah.
It's just fun telling things that I see that other people don't really see. Like he'll probably see it, and then I'll just bring it up to him, and he'll already know what I'm gonna say.
Right.
It's just when a team runs a play that we may have not stopped, I just tell him about it to run it against another team, make them pay for it, and then things like that. Just seeing things in the defense or the offense that we can change up.
That's important.
I'm not going to get crazy and brag on this kid too much, but I'm going to tell you this. This is a kid that every team he plays on where he's not under his brother's shadow excels. 5 touchdowns in the first half of a freshman game last year competing against, I think it was Saguaro.
Wow.
That's pretty unprecedented. Unfortunately, and fortunately, he's walking a year behind this guy who's the national quarterback of the year. Most kids in his position probably would take up another sport. Like he said, he is relentless with their pursuit of being the smartest kid on the football field. If we need to go for 2 or if we need to run a play, we might be in a rush to do something, and he picks it up and makes sure we're doing the right thing. So just so you know, just to add a little bit of who this guy is, he's not going to tell you that himself, but he can play the game. So
That's how you learn. That's how you learn. You know.
Well, let me ask you guys this. I mean, I've been at your house. I know you guys and stuff, but I want you to tell me what went through your mind, what emotions went through your mind walking into Cowboy Stadium.
Walking into Cowboy Stadium, well, the first time I went there, I actually was cheering on my little brother Trayson, he's going to be an 8th grader, but he played there for the NFL Flag Championships, and be able to watch him out there compete, it really wanted me to push myself to try to come back and play myself. So walking in there, especially with my brothers and also my best friends, and representing Tucson, it really showed you it was like a dream come true to go and play in an NFL stadium.
Oh, I know. I went over to Toby's house right around Christmas to drop off some stuff, and these guys are playing football in the house.
We got basketball, football, you name it, we got it.
You can go down the hall and cut to the second bedroom.
Yes.
I'll hit you before you hit the door. Exactly. So that had to have been. I mean, that I can't imagine. I mean, I got geeked up when I played in the state game in basketball in high school, but I can't imagine walking into Jerry Jones Stadium.
Yeah, walking in Jerry's World, it was awesome. It was very fun.
And that's got to be one of the premier stadiums in the NFL.
Oh yes, sir.
On top of that. So,
yeah, by far.
Nice.
So, when did you know that you had the championship? I mean, obviously with these guys, you're going to play hard to the last whistle, understandably. But when did you guys know in your head we've got this?
I would say after the game was tied 14-14, and we ended up stopping them, our turnover on downs, and we scored 21 to go up touchdown 21-14. And the very next play, I play safety as well, and they threw it deep, and I ended up picking it. And I knew once we could go up 2 touchdown possessions, it was a wrap. So after I got the pick, I looked at the whole sideline. Everybody got hyped, and we just knew we're going to drive down, score, go up 2 possessions. And once you go up 2 possessions in 7-on-7, it's very hard to stop.
Now tell the viewers out there who was that team that you beat for the national championship?
The team we beat was the reigning, national, They're a team from Chicago.
They don't need any more publicity.
Okay.
They're the reigning national champions, but we beat them and knocked them off to regain the title.
How do you think you did? I mean, like I said earlier in the show, you guys faced some great athletes.
Yes, sir.
Athleticism, Texas and Chicago. How'd you guys pull that game off? What do you think happened?
Just being able to be on the field and never always getting down on each other. You play against all these 5-star athletes and all these kids with offers. I mean, they don't even know their teammates' names. I'm playing quarterback and the safety's like, "Hey, Mike, hey you kid, you got to cover that guy." They don't even know their names.
Wow.
With us, Mario's been at the house for months straight, not even going home. Just staying the night, and we're just that close. And just being on the field, if somebody gets burned, we're like, "Hey, keep your head up." Happened in the semis. Diego was playing great D and got mossed, and he came back, and I was like, "Diego, we're fine. we came down. He ended up scoring the touchdown to send it back into overtime. But yeah, no. So we're just always there for each other. We never get down on each other.
Good. Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you very much. We want to thank everybody that came out to Stray Dogs to watch the show. We want to thank Tucson Turf.
Thank you.
7-on-7. We want to thank Coach Steptoe, Coach Bourget. Let's give everybody a big hand for the national champion 7-on-7. It's been a pleasure having you guys. It's been a great show. Real quick, next week we are going to be back here at Stray Dogs. We're going to keep the football theme on. We're going to have Pima College Aztec football with Coach Jim Monaco and Coach Dick Tomey. So you want to definitely come out here to Stray Dogs next week and check it out.
Congratulations, guys. You guys did a great job.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So for Vivian, for Bill, for the Bees, we are out of here. Good night.